Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back with another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today taking a look at a pretty cool release. It is the Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Vader Duel's End version of Darth Vader from Obi-Wan Kenobi, the final duel from the series. As you can see, when he gets his helmet all sliced up and everything, which was a really awesome scene that I absolutely love from the show. And this is a figure that I've wanted them to make in some form or fashion ever since Star Wars Rebels, because a similar thing happened in season 2 of Star Wars Rebels. He got the half of his face sliced open or whatever. And we finally got it in figure form, and it's really nice. This is a retool of previous Darth Vaders they've released. Probably specifically the Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader from last year. I never got that figure because it was too similar to the previous Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader. I don't need like all these different versions of Vader when there's not like significant changes to the design. But here there is some significant changes to the design. I actually originally had the Figuarts version pre-ordered. There's a Figuarts version of this Vader coming out because I didn't think I was going to be able to find this figure. It is a Target exclusive in the States, and up here in Canada, it is actually exclusive to Toys R Us. I just happened to log on to the website, take a look at the Black Series figures online, and I saw this guy was on their website, and he was in stock on the shelf at one of my local stores. So I went over and picked it up, and I timed it really well because I went in to the store. They had maybe 3 or 4 of these guys on the shelf. I picked one out, and I also got Appo, who was also released alongside this figure. And then probably only a couple minutes after I picked mine up, some guy came in with a tote bag and he dumped all the rest in the bag. So my hope is that he was just picking up for other friends or whatever who wanted it, but my fear and unfortunate reality is probably trying to scalp him, which is pretty scummy. I'm not going to lie. Um, Also, feel like that's not really a super fantastic financial decision because I feel like this figure probably won't be that hard to get. I don't know. Anyways, let's get on to the review, and we'll be taking a look, of course, at the main difference with this figure, which is the head sculpt, which is totally new. It is the helmet here with the big slice in it, and you've got kind of like the helmet sculpt and like a separate head sculpt underneath. And it's kind of hard to see the details, but it looks really nice. The helmet itself has this nice like kind of like subtle gray white paint to kind of look at like the scorch mark, the slice of the lightsaber through the helmet. And I like how the helmet is even layered. You've got the top part of the helmet, and you've got the inner part of the mask that has all those technical details on the base of the head there, which I think it's actually sculpted in there. It looks really nice. And then it is camera and lighting. It's a little tough to get in there and see the details, but the head sculpt underneath looks really good. It looks pretty much exactly like how Hayden looked with all the makeup and whatnot. You got the scorch marks, you got the scarring, you've got the Sith eye there looking really nicely printed with the darkening around the eyes. It's a little hard to see, but he does have the printed lips in there that look really nice as well. Apparently someone has, I haven't seen the pictures or anything, but someone has taken this off and the other side just like isn't painted or whatever, but that's fine because it's not removable. It doesn't make sense to be removable. Yeah, I don't care because I'm never going to see that side of the face. But yeah, it looks super good. Reminds me a lot of that battle damage Captain Phasma they did years ago. It's similar to that, and it just looks really, really, really nice. The rest of the helmet looks good as well. It's sculpted nicely. He does have kind of that reddish brown painted for the lens, which in this case I don't mind because it is kind of accurate to how it looked in the show. He had those kind of red lenses going on, so that's cool. The rest of the figure, it is pretty similar. There are some differences though. I don't know if it's an entirely new torso sculpt, but the chest box actually does have the lightsaber slashes and the battle damage and dirt and whatnot all sculpted and painted on the front there, which I think looks really nice. Another little feature that I did not notice, even when I watched reviews, I didn't notice, he actually has a hole in the back of his cape and a hole in the back of the soft goods of his robes to show where Obi-Wan sliced him in the back. That's super cool. I mean, no sculpted detail, it's just stitched, but they would have had to make a whole new soft goods robe and soft goods cape for this figure to accommodate that. If they didn't have that detail, I don't even think I would have noticed because I don't remember, but that's cool. I know that's cool. There's no sculpted detail damage on the actual back of the figure, but that's okay. It's really nice. The cape also at the edges is actually tattered and torn as well. That's really cool. The only thing that's weird is that the edges of the cape are torn and tattered, but then the lower robe, inner robe, is not. So that's a little weird, but it's not too bad. So lots of new kind of soft good stuff going on that I wasn't actually expecting. And then the rest of the figure, just standard Darth Vader. The paint apps on the belt and the boxes and whatnot look pretty clean and look really nice. The gloves look good. The gloves are actually less glossy than they have been on other Darth Vader figures in the past. But I think that's fine. And then the legs look good. I think they're just straight up reuse. But yeah, it looks really good. And I like all the different tooling that they included. It's nice. In terms of articulation, he's well articulated. You do have a joint in the head. He can actually look up an okay amount and down a decent amount. Not really much pivot, but you can rotate. Hinges at the shoulders. You can get them to go about that far before the armor and whatnot's kind of get in the way. There is also a butterfly joint. You're not going to get a ton of movement out of there, but there is some. Single hinge at the elbows that move in quite far. Swivels at the wrist, elbows. Swivels at the wrists, and both wrists is up and down hinges, which is nice. Torso joint, it rotates. It goes back just a little bit. Goes forward barely any because of the chest box gets in the way. Hips, they kick out quite a bit. Go out fairly far too. There is a swivel cut at the thigh. Double hinges at the knees because these are fairly old legs, but the joints are tight and it moves good. And then hinge at the ankle goes up a good amount, down a lot. And an ankle rocker for pivot. So he's got a lot of great articulation. You'll be able to get a lot of great poses out of this figure should you want to do so. And then in terms of accessories, doesn't come with much. Doesn't really need to come with much. He does come with, of course, his lightsaber. I do believe this is just straight up reuse, which makes sense. But the hilt is painted and sculpted really nicely. You do have the red blade. You can remove the blade. He does have a hook on his belt and he has a loop on the lightsaber. So you can kind of clip it in there, but it's not a very secure fit. It will stay on there, but it's pretty easy to bump off. But you can do that. But because he doesn't come with anything else, I will be displaying him with the lightsaber in hand because this is when he's in his big battle dueling and everything, so he's got to have the lightsaber in his hand. And yeah, overall looks awesome, man. I really actually gonna be honest, I like this. I knew I was gonna like this figure, but I actually like it a lot more than I was expecting to, and I'm totally okay with canceling the figure arts because this was like I think more than half the price, or less than half the price, sorry. And I think it looks absolutely excellent, and will probably scale better than the Black Series anyways. But for quick comparisons, here he is with the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader. I gotta clean his helmet, but there you go. This one probably only looks a little taller because this one's leaning forward a little bit, but they're pretty much the same figure, just minor differences. And then here he is next to the figure that you're probably going to be displaying him with. Here is the Jabim Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I think the size difference and these guys just complement each other really well. They look really well together. So overall, I think it's actually a really great release. It is an exclusive, so I don't know how hard or easy it will be to get. I mean, like I said, these were on the shelves at the store, and before Buddy came and took all the rest, there were a few there to pick up. So I feel like this won't be super hard to get. Hopefully it won't be. If you're a fan of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, hell, if you're a Rebels fan, or just really like this look for Darth Vader, because I know who wouldn't, I think this is a definite recommend if you collect Black Series. It's just too cool, I think, not to get. The helmet, damaged helmet with the face print underneath, is just some really cool tooling going on there and looks very awesome. He is at that exclusive price point, unfortunately, so he is a bit more than a standard release. But unlike Commander Appo, where it really didn't feel like it was worth the price, I can at least stomach the price a little better here because at least he's got a fair amount going on. He's a little bit of a beefier figure because he's Darth Vader. He's got a bit more soft goods and stuff going on, and he's got that awesome head sculpt, so yeah, I'll give it a pass. And unlike Appo, where I would honestly kind of avoid that figure, this is 100% recommend from me. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.